I'm going to talk about working a 9 to 5 and why I would never go back to working a 9 to 5. I'm just cleansing the space as I talk about this. So if you're new here, my name is Berginaaa George, and thank you for watching. Thank you for clicking on my video. And if you're coming back, thank you for coming back. So today I just wanted to talk about like following your dreams and staying true to yourself, following your purpose no matter what, and not to ever get discouraged by any obstacles or anything, because that is part of the journey. So I'm going to start my story off today talking about the last 9 to 5 I worked. So I worked at an insurance company, and I was working in the call center of that insurance company. It was a home insurance company, and it was a lot, I must say. We had to answer up to or about at least like minimum 90 calls a day. And it was from between, you could either choose 8 to 5 or 9 to 6, Monday through Friday. And the pay, this was like 2 years ago. The pay was about 20 an hour and whatever. So at the time, I'm like, okay, this pay is actually not bad. 20 an hour, I could do this, right? I got the job. I was super excited. I had just left a serving job. I've worked all around the world. If you know me, I've worked in every job, well, every category, every genre of job, every category that you could think of. Okay, I've been a server. I've worked fast food. I've done call centers. I've done call centers. I've done customer service. I've done cash register, whatever them people is called. I've done it all. I've done damn near everything that you could think of, okay? I've done security type of jobs. Like, I've done everything, okay? So, and that was because, like, I never found any, like, I never liked any of the jobs I worked. So I would jump from job to job to job to job. Like, wouldn't even like put my 2 weeks in really or anything. I'm just going from job to job to job to job. Like, F y'all, bye. Once the job did something I ain't like, bye. The fuck? Because y'all need me. I don't need y'all, okay? So I would jump from job to job to job to job. I've had at least 10 jobs and I'm only 22, okay? So back to 2023, my insurance job. Got the job, loved it, and it was cool at first until, like, I think I only worked there for like 3 months and I had to quit. Like 3 to 4 months, and I literally had to quit because I felt as though I was paying that job with my energy. I was paying that job with my mental health. I wasn't doing good mentally working at that job. Imagine talking to 90 different people every day. I don't even know how many calls per hour that is. I'm not even going to do the math. But if you're good at math, go ahead and drop that in the comments. Working 8-hour shifts and you're doing 90 calls a day. It was a lot. And the calls were, and mind you, 90 was minimum. And the calls were back to back to back to back to back to back. Like, there was no breaks in between. You had a 1 hour lunch, that was it. And then some days we'd get only a 30-minute lunch if they were like super busy. So it was a lot. Looking at my notes, and I knew that, like, that job, even though I've been knew it, but that job just confirmed that working a 9 to 5 is just not for me. Like, that was the last straw. That was my last straw. Like, what if I was suicidal? That literally would have been my last straw. Like, when I tell y'all, my mental health declined with every clock in. Every clock in that I did, my mental health declined. It was to the point where I would dread going to work. I was calling out so often, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I was that call out type of girl at all of the jobs I worked at, because I'm gonna have a good time regardless, and I'm gonna live my life regardless. So yeah, I'm gonna call out. But especially at that job, I was calling out back to back. I'm surprised they didn't fire me before I quit, honestly. And I was very depressed. Like, it got to the point where, like, so growing up and even now to this day, like, we always, like, my family and I, my mom raised us to always take 2 showers One in the morning, one at night. It was to the point where when I was working at that job, I was taking one shower in the morning and that's it. And if you know me, you know I'm so serious about my skincare regimen and like it's my self-care, my self-pamper. And I love showers. I love like face masks and all of that. I take all of that so serious. Like me not taking my night shower, that was a cry for help, honestly. And that's really when it clicked. Like I was thinking about it and I'm like, okay, so like I'm very overworked. I feel very overworked and the pay is not worth it. I'm overworked. Well, at the time I was overworked and underpaid. And if they do pay you well, and this is for, excuse me, this is for any job, not just that job, but a lot of American corporate jobs, when they do pay you well, you end up paying with something way worse. You end up paying with your mental health. You pay them back with your energy, your time, your mental health. They teach you that money is the most valuable asset that we have, but it's not true. Time is the most valuable thing that we have. Time. And trading your time for crumbs, that's not going to bring you more wealth. That's not going to bring you abundance. Because you're trading something so abundant, which is time, something that you can't buy back, for money. It's kind of backwards, isn't it? So after like contemplation, I got the job in February and I quit in May. So yeah, 3 months. Wow. And I think I actually started in March. Like I got the job February, but when everything was done, I started like the first week of March and I quit by the end of May. Right after my birthday. My birthday is May 14th. I quit like May 23rd. Like I was out of there. No 2 weeks, nothing. I'm like, bye y'all. Because like I was slowly losing myself. Me not having the mental capacity to do my night shower, something that is so sacred to me, something that I take so seriously because it's special to me. It's a spiritual thing for me. I couldn't do that. Like I that was the last straw. It really was. And I was like, you know what? This is just not for me. I'm not going to keep trying to force it. It's just not for me. It's time to move on to something else. So I quit. And I didn't have a job for like maybe 2 months. And then my mom, who has a restaurant, she was like, well, since you're not working, why don't you come work for me in the meantime until you get another job? And I'm like, you know what? That's a damn good idea. So then I started working at my mom's restaurant. Brief intermission at my mom's restaurant. You know, it was cool. It was a little bit more freedom because, you know, it's my mom's restaurant. And then not to mention, I also managed the restaurant. So it was a lot more freedom. You know, and I could like do what I want. I had lots of fun. I was eating really, really good. And now that I no longer work there, because now I don't, as I reflect back on that time, I think I worked there for like a year. I definitely could have used that time a little bit more wisely to plan for what I wanted to do next. But you know, you learn and you grow. So now I know, and now I know like to always be planning for what I'm doing next, because there's never not a time where I'm not going to be working on my next move. So yeah, it was a bit more freedom, but at the end of the day, it was still kind of depressing to me. Like, I just don't think I'm meant to sit in a building all day and work, you know? And it's like, yes, I like interacting with new people. I like meeting new people, having new interactions, talking, having conversations, but you don't want to do that well, not you, but I don't want to do that all the time. Like I want my times where I can just choose not to interact with people for the day because my social battery is drained, you know? And even though that was my mom's restaurant, I still would have to work and come to work on the days that I was scheduled, you know? So there were days where I didn't want to have to work, you know, especially if I'm on my cycle. I don't want to have to go to work, but I still did. So it was still kind of depressing at the end of the day, you know? Although it was my mom's restaurant and I obviously loved it way more than working any other 9 to 5, it was still like, damn, like this is still not what I want to do, you know? And I understand that I could have just worked there until I got to where I wanted to be, but there were just other things that I was just like, you know what? I'd rather just be my own boss instead of having to answer to somebody, you know? And then not to mention, my body was still in pain because working regular 9 to 5s, you either stand up all day or you sit down all day. Your body's going to be in pain. And my body was still in pain from the restaurant. So a lot of walking around, a lot of fast-paced movement. And I still was super exhausted at the end of the day. And I don't like that feeling. being like super drained to the point where I can't even do certain things that I do, like my nightly showers or my skincare routine, or, you know, certain little things that I partake in every day, my little cute rituals that I can't even do. Light my candle before bed. Oops, I have this like super cute cup with me here, so if you guys hear me bang it, my bad. But yeah, like light my candle before bed. If I'm too tired, I'm just gonna go to sleep. F that candle, you know what I mean? But that's not what I want. I want to be able to have slow mornings and slow nights, you know? Unwind. I don't want to just come home and go to bed or because I'm so beat. That's not what life is about. So I had to really do a lot of introspection, but then I realized like that's just not what I wanted. So I left my mom's restaurant. Okay, cool. So here we are now in the present. I am a full-time content creator. We made it. Ah. And this is something I've always wanted to do. I was making YouTube videos since I was in middle school. My sister and I had a whole YouTube channel. So this is always something I wanted to do, and I always knew it was something I wanted to do. So I'm happy that I'm actually like pursuing it, because I feel like I wasted so much time doing so many other things and not like actually focusing or doing what I wanted to actually do. You know, I feel like my YouTube game really got stronger as I was working at my mom's restaurant, because I could film there, I could edit there, you know, but at other 9 to 5s, not at all. I have total freedom, and freedom equals time, more time to think, more time to be. And that, just being able to think more and to really like ponder upon your thoughts and meditate with your thoughts, be intentional with everything that you do. To be able to do that, you can't be in survival mode. You can't be like, you know, you can't be like moving fast paced. You really have to slow down and be present, you know. Now I have multiple streams of income. You know, guys, I sell my merch, selfless promo. Y'all purchase my merch. I'm dropping some new merch this month. So merch, I have social media, I have art. I'm a social media marketer, only for locals though. So if you're local in South Florida, you can hit my DMs if you want me to market your social media for you. You guys already know about my art. I sell my art, and plus more, you know, because I'm manifesting more streams of income. The goal is 7 or more. So yeah, I have more time to pour into my hobbies and to read and to get to know myself, to better myself. And that is the goal at the end of the day. We don't want to be in survival mode. We don't want to be distracting ourselves from ourselves, because at the end of the day, that's really what it is. If you're constantly thinking about bills and like what's coming next, or your next check, or this and that, you're not going to have time to get to know yourself and to heal. You're not going to have time to be aware and be intentional. But that's what they want, and that's not what they're going to get, not from me at least, and hopefully not from y'all, you know. I'm a lot happier now. I know y'all could tell. Skin glowing, looking nice as fuck every time you see me. Like, I feel like you guys can tell from when I stopped working at my mom's restaurant, or like in general, versus now. Because there's a big difference in my videos. There's a big difference in my content. I feel like I do a lot more effort because I have more time. I am more thought out because I have more time to sit there and write what I want to make my videos about, instead of just having to rush and record and then head to work, you know? And I just love that feeling, being able to be a woman and just be and attract and receive, instead of forcing things. And, you know, working in a 9 to 5, at the end of the day, that is a man's schedule. Women run on a 28-day cycle and men run on a 1-day cycle. So waking up every day, working at 9 to 5, that is a manly thing. That is the masculine. That's the masculine energy. So it keeps women very masculine when they work that 9 to 5 schedule, which is another reason why I just couldn't do it. Like, I'm a feminine girly. I like to be girl la la. I like to be cutesy. Working at 9 to 5, it wasn't for me. And another benefit of me like doing my own thing, having my own businesses and stuff, it's gonna make you work harder. Like, you really, when you're depending on yourself and you're betting on yourself, you have no choice but to show up for yourself. There's no such thing as instant gratification on this end. You have to work for it. You get to watch the fruits of your labor. Is that how you say it? Bear the fruits of your labor. You have to watch your plants grow, and then you get to eat the harvest, okay? If y'all get what I mean by that. Like, and yeah, like literally nobody, one thing about it, two things for sure. People are always going to try to tell you to like go work a 9 to 5, go work a 9 to 5. But only you know what's best for you, and only you can tell yourself what's best for you. Only you can make decisions for your life. Don't let other people make decisions for you. Literally, as I have been working on myself, working on my different businesses and everything, I have noticed that I literally am doing so much better. My discipline levels, my consistency levels, I am doing so much better than I was before. And nobody on this planet can tell me that my hard work is not paying off. Nobody can tell me my hard work is not paying off, because it is, and I can see it. I might be quiet, but I'm always working behind the scenes. I might not say nothing, but I'm always working behind the scenes. Okay? Nobody can tell me my hard work is not paying off. Nobody can tell me that I'm doing all of this in vain. I am betting on myself here. And I know myself. I know that I'm capable of anything I put my mind to. So, hell the fuck yeah. Hell the fuck yeah. I believe in myself. Hell the fuck yeah. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing until it pays off, because it already is paying off and I can see it now. But just wait in like 6 months from now. Can you imagine where I'm going to be in 6 months? Can you imagine where I'm going to be in 3 months? By my next birthday. Like, that's the thing. Like, you literally get to see the growth. And I kind of like it better than instant gratification at this point, because like you reap what you sow, you like literally, versus with instant gratification like a 9 to 5. You work for a week and then you just boom, get paid. But it's like you don't get to experience the cultivation. What's the word? You don't get to experience it how one does who owns a business, or who, literally gets to see the process. You don't get to see the process, is what I'm trying to say. I was trying to say cultivate, but like cultivation. I don't, okay. And literally, like, the one thing that owning my businesses and having social media and being a social media marketer and being a social media full-time content creator paid, one thing that I realized is that consistency is success. So as long as I'm consistent, there is no reason why I can't succeed. Which is why I've been consistent, because that makes success inevitable for me. Success is inevitable for me. Success is inevitable for me because I am consistent and I make sure that I'm consistent. So if you're consistent, success will be inevitable for you. If you go to the gym consistently, your body has to change. If you do your makeup consistently every day with the intentions of practicing and getting better, your makeup routine is going to be A1. When you're doing it consistently. If I post YouTube videos consistently, then that means that my social media is going to grow regardless, because I'm posting consistently. YouTube has no choice but to push me out. The more I post, the more they push me out. You know why? Because the more people that they get to watch my videos, the more you're on the app, which means that they get paid and I get paid. You watch, they get paid, and I get paid. Consistency is key in any and everything that you do. If you don't take nothing else from this video, just take that with you. Consistency is key. And like, I have this unwavering belief in myself that cannot and shall not fail me. That belief that I put into God is the belief that I put into myself. I have this unwavering faith in myself. I may not see it in the 3D world yet, but it's there, and I know it's there. 2025 has been a faithful year for me, I must say. 2025 has been a very faithful year for me. I might not see it, but it's there and it's in the works. Okay? Okay. And yeah, I just wanted to say that, you know, if you are one who is thinking about starting a business and quitting your 9 to 5, I say do it. I think that, do it when you're ready. Make sure you have like a savings or whatever, or even if you like work part-time so you can focus on your business, but you don't have to quit your job. However you do it, whatever works best for you, do it. But don't give your life to that 9 to 5, and don't let it consume you, because working a 9 to 5, it's so easy to be consumed, and you don't want your 9 to 5 job to consume you. You work to wait. Yeah, you work to live. You don't live to work. Okay? So thank you guys for watching my video. As you know, I have art for sale. You can DM me, or you can go to my website, Sachi Art. It'll be linked below. New merch coming out. Merch will be linked not in this video, but the next video, because I'm working on new merch. You guys know all of my businesses. So yeah, and if you like this video, subscribe, join the conversation, comment, give me your thoughts, your point of view, your perspective. Thank you for watching. Bye.